Every year, millions of travelers carry luxury bags that look and feel like status itself. Yet almost no one ever asks, who decided lion leather should become the golden standard of exotic prestige? Inside a hidden factory in Peshawar, Pakistan, workers transform raw lion hides into high-end travel bags that can cost more than a used car. Today, we're going to walk straight through that process, step by step, until you can almost smell the tannery and feel the finished leather in your hands. If you enjoy seeing how everyday luxury is really made, subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive. It all starts far from the polished boutiques and airport lounges. The story begins with raw lion leather arriving at the factory gates. Heavy, stiff, and anything but glamorous. These hides are stacked, salted, and wrapped in rough bundles. On the floor, they look closer to industrial waste than to a premium material. The workers know that if they don't move quickly, the hide will rot, crack, or lose the unique grain that makes lion leather so desirable. The first stage is all about survival, preserving the hide before nature takes it back. In the wet section of the factory, the lion skins are soaked in huge drums filled with water and chemicals. This reawakens the dried hide, washing away dirt, blood, and excess salt. The drums turn slowly, the sound a deep mechanical heartbeat in the building. When the hides come out, they're swollen, pale, and rubbery. They still don't look like leather, but they've crossed the first line. They're now ready to be shaped instead of destroyed. Next comes one of the most brutal but crucial steps, fleshing and splitting. Workers feed each lion hide into a powerful machine that scrapes away the remaining flesh and fat from the underside. It's loud, dangerous work. One wrong move and a hand could disappear into the blades. The goal is precision. Remove everything that will rot, but preserve the natural thickness and strength of the lion skin. Then the hide is split into layers. The top layer with its natural grain is the real treasure. This is what will eventually become the outer surface of a luxury travel bag. Now the factory turns to chemistry. The hides enter the tanning stage, where they stop being skin and become leather. In large rotating drums, the lion hides are soaked again, this time with tanning agents that lock the fibers in place. This is the moment that decides whether the leather will last a lifetime or fall apart in a few years. The process can take many hours. The workers check pH levels, temperature, and timing with an almost ritual precision, because lion leather is unforgiving. Too much chemical and the grain hardens and cracks. Too little and the leather stays weak and spongy. When the drums finally stop, the hides emerge transformed. They're no longer raw animal skin, but still far from luxurious. They're thick, damp sheets of pale, flexible material. To become usable, they need to be thinned, stretched, and equalized. A shaving machine trims the leather to a consistent thickness, often less than a few millimeters, depending on whether it will become a handle, a side panel, or a delicate pocket. Each pass through the machine removes micro-layers, revealing a smoother, more uniform structure. This consistency is what allows a travel bag to hold its shape after years of use. Only now does color enter the story. In a separate section of the factory, the lion leather is dyed. Some batches are destined for deep browns and blacks, others for the golden tones that have made certain lion leather bags instantly recognizable. The hides are submerged once more in dye drums, where pigments penetrate deep into the fibers instead of just sitting on the surface. After dyeing, they're carefully dried, sometimes hung in long rows, sometimes vacuum dried on special plates to avoid warping. At this stage, the factory floor looks like an art studio crossed with an industrial plant. Sheets of colored leather everywhere, each with a slightly different shade and sheen. But color alone doesn't sell a luxury bag. Texture does, feel does. So the next step is finishing. The lion leather passes through rollers that apply oils, waxes, and protective coatings. Some hides are embossed with subtle patterns. Others are left with their natural grain, a visual fingerprint that signals authenticity. Workers test the softness with their hands, bending the leather, listening to the quiet creak that only good leather makes. The best pieces are set aside for visible panels and handles. Any with scars or irregularities might be used for internal parts or smaller accessories. Nothing is wasted, but not everything is worthy of the spotlight. Once the leather is ready, the factory shifts from chemistry to craftsmanship. In the cutting room, patterns for travel bags are laid out like puzzle pieces on the lion leather. Skilled cutters decide where each piece should come from. The cleanest, most beautiful grain for the front panels, stronger sections for the base, slightly stiffer parts for straps and handles. Using steel dies or sharp knives, They cut out dozens of shapes, rectangles, curves, long strips, that for now look nothing like a bag. The placement is strategic. A single mistake can waste a large, expensive section of leather. The sewing section is where the story finally starts to resemble the product you recognize. Workers sit at heavy-duty machines, stitching together panels with thick, reinforced thread. First, they assemble the main body. Side panels join to the base, then the front and back. Next come the pockets, the interior lining, the zippers. Every stitch has a purpose. On a luxury travel bag, seams aren't just about holding things together. They're part of the design language. The spacing, the color of the thread, the way the corners are reinforced. These are tiny details that separate a premium bag from a cheap imitation. Handles and straps get special attention. Lion leather is naturally strong, but a handle must endure thousands of lifts, pulls, and twists. The leather is folded, padded, and stitched around internal supports. Metal hardware, buckles, rings, and clasps, is attached, often in a contrasting finish like brushed brass or polished steel. Each connection point is tested by hand. If a handle fails in the factory, it's an inconvenience. If it fails in an airport halfway across the world, it's a disaster for the brand. Before any bag leaves the factory, it faces inspection. Workers check the leather surface for flaws, run their fingers along every seam, and open and close each zipper repeatedly. They look for even dye, consistent grain, and perfectly aligned stitching. Any bag that doesn't meet the standard is either reworked or rejected. The approved ones are cleaned, sometimes polished with a light conditioning cream and then stuffed with paper to hold their shape. Finally, they're placed into dust bags and boxes, ready to be shipped to stores where the story of their origin is rarely told. The twist is this: by the time a customer sees a premium lion leather travel bag on a shelf, the animal is almost irrelevant. What they're really paying for is process. Weeks of controlled soaking, tanning, dyeing, cutting, and stitching inside a factory that most people will never see. The prestige isn't just in the exotic name. It's in the invisible labor, the chemical precision, and the craftsmanship that turns something raw and perishable into an object meant to outlive its first owner. If you want to see how far this world of exotic leather can really go, you need to step into a place that makes lion leather look almost ordinary. The next stop is a factory where even the shell of the animal becomes part of the story. Inside the Turtle Leather Factory. That one will change how you see luxury forever. See you there.